What's going on YouTube? Thanks for tuning into this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about whether or not in 2022 an RV park is a good investment or not. So, I bought a raw piece of land back in 2019, late of 2019, and the goal of the property was to develop it into an RV park. Now, right as we were beginning to start the RV park, the development of the RV park is when the COVID pandemic blew up and everything shut down. And so we just focused on our development. And what we realized was that the demand from COVID caused RV living to go way up. So where I'm at is in Central Texas, and there's a lot of average people just working regular jobs like service industry jobs or plumbers or just basic blue collar job workers that are living full time out of their RVs. It's very interesting if you go into just your circle of friends or people that you know that maybe just work an average job and they're not anything extravagant, they're just living the average life. You'll hear the conversation of RV living and how people are actually considering living in RVs full time. I know multiple people that just decided, hey, I'm going to live in an RV. It's cheaper. I only got to pay $500 a month for my lot. Once I buy the RV and pay it off, it's done with. I can take it anywhere I want. It's about the same size as if I were to rent, a one-bedroom apartment, and I'm paying a quarter of the price. If I was renting a one or two bedroom apartment, I'm paying $1,500, $2,000 a month, depending on where you're at. Where I live in my city, it's pretty expensive. We live in a nice area, and so the rent is expensive. So you'll hear people in your circles talking about how, yeah, I'm gonna live in an RV. It's just cheaper. It's cheaper to live, and especially with the recession, with gas and everything, people just are choosing to live in RVs not because they want to travel everywhere, but they choose the place that they want to live, and they set up the RV at an RV park, and they work their job, and they come back to their RV when they're done with their job, and they stay at their RV like it's their apartment, and they can move it anywhere they want. So it's a level of flexibility for people, and it's also a financial safe haven because they're not having to spend not nearly as much for their rent, so they can save money, which is what people are trying to do. The average person right now is just trying to save money. It's expensive out here. Gas is expensive, food is expensive, so people are going to try to save money on their housing. That's, I think, the most expensive part of a person's budget is their housing. I think the average person spends about 30% of their paycheck on their housing. So that's something to think about. And for us, we knew low-income housing is a major demand, especially in this area. Low-income housing is a major demand. So I actually started off with flipping mobile homes, and I would buy these mobile homes for really cheap, put some money into them, sell them, and I would get tons and tons of people commenting. I would put them up on Facebook and Craigslist, and I get people calling, people commenting, people texting, wanting to get these houses because they're low-income housing. And the same thing happened when I opened up my RV park after about 15 months of development to get it finished. When I opened it up, I just took some pictures of the lots that we had available and put them up on Facebook and Craigslist. I spent zero in marketing, zero in paying for ads. I just took a picture, put it up on Facebook Marketplace, just saying, hey, renting this lot for $550, message for more info. I got a list of people that were interested in renting the lot, and within a short time, I had built up to 14 spots, and within just a few months, I was already full. And so the demand is huge, and I think if with the recession, it's pretty much already here, we're going to see as it continues to increase with inflation, we're just going to see more people wanting to live in RVs because it's just too expensive for the average person. So I think an RV park is definitely going to be recession proof and a great business for the future. Also, too, if you consider the cash flow, I mean, the cash flow is ridiculous. If you're charging $550 a lot and you have 14 lots, that's over $7,000 a month. And the thing that I really like about RV parks is that the management is very minimal. So if you have an RV park, you're only going to be managing your land, meaning like your roads, making sure that the landscaping is good, the electricity, making sure every lot, the electricity works, which is pretty simple. Your septic, which is pretty much self-sustaining, you have somebody that comes out and checks the septic system and make sure everything's working well. but that's really not on you, that's on them. And lastly, your water. And if you have a well, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty simple. If you have a water, if you're hooked up to public water, that's pretty self-explanatory as well. So really your main objective is just to take care of those basic levels of infrastructure. But if a RV breaks down, that's not your obligation. You don't have to get it fixed. Whereas if you buy a residential house and you try to rent it out and something goes out, you have to hire the person to go get it fixed. You have to take money out of your pocket to get it fixed. Whereas in our situation, being the RV park owners, we only have to worry about the basic infrastructure. So that really is a benefit to us. Also, with all the development you do on your land, the property only appraises in value typically most of the time. And that really isn't the most important thing because we're basing it off of cash flow. So I do think for the years to come that an RV park is going to be a great investment. It's going to cater to the low-income housing person, the person that's just struggling day to day. They just need money. They need to save money. You're gonna cater to them. You're gonna be owning real estate, so it's gonna be an asset. And not only that, but with land, there's so many things you could do, and you can put so many RV spots on a piece of land. I mean, you could put, if you have 10 acres, you could put 40, 50, 60 RV spots on your land. Obviously, it's going to be an investment, but it's going to pay you back tenfold. And especially, too, if you lock in your loans at a fixed rate and not an adjustable rate, when inflation increases, you can just raise your rents and your loan remains the same. So I think it's a really good hedge for inflation. I would recommend it. We right now have 14 renters out there. We're making over $7,000 a month in in gross revenue monthly. And we just got a loan, and we're on track to construct another 29 lots. And if we charge $550, which is what we're charging now, for the remaining 29, which would be 43 in total, we're going to be making over $300,000 a year in gross income, gross cash flow, which is just tremendous numbers. And right now, we are not using any of our own money. We're getting loans from other people based off on our cash flow. So we're not using any of our own money, and we're getting a tenfold return. So I definitely recommend it. If you guys have questions about RV parks or how to manage them, what it's like to own one, comment down below. I'm going to be making more posts about RV parks. But thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace.